I have a friend who works for the FBI, and I asked him how to deal with the online harassment that I get from a certain subreddit, from Kiwi farms, from places like that. And he told me the only way to fight that stuff back is to expose those people for what they really are. So that's what this video is. I'm going to show you some receipts that I think you should see. First off, if you watch my channel, you've probably been recommended one of these videos exposing me. And man, there's a lot of stuff in this that is very fair criticism. I've said and done some really stupid stuff in my 14 years on YouTube, my 10 years on Twitch. I mean, I've said and done some really indefensible stuff. But one of the major themes of all of these videos is that I'm a lying manipulator, that I've lied to my audience, that I've manipulated you guys, that the abuse I went through isn't true, or that the suicidal impulses that I talk about feeling, those aren't true. I don't actually have any mental disorders. And then I lie about all of this stuff to try to manipulate my audience, I guess to make money or something along that lines. And all of those rumors come from one place only, and that's a known hate subreddit. That hate subreddit is Sam and Tolkien. And if you've ever heard of a mega thread, this is that mega thread. And this is where this place is hosted. This is the people who put that stuff together. So let's talk a little bit about those people. I want to show you how all of this started. Back in 2015 on my subreddit, the owner of this particular subreddit posted this about me, saying that I wasn't serious about my weight loss, that I never have been, that I'm full of excuses, that I'm lying all the time, that I'm lying about my suicidal tendencies, and that those are gross exaggerations, and how I possibly couldn't have suicidal thoughts back when, because I had a beautiful wife, because I make 6 figures a year. I cropped out his name, I put this on Twitter, and I started a war. This guy has been coming at me for 5 years because I dared rebuke his bullshit. That's the guy who owns the subreddit that you're getting your information from. That's where that mega thread lives. And I'm going to show you some fairly choice stuff from that subreddit. But they are deleting stuff left and right now because they knew today was coming. They knew I was making this video. So they're trying to cover their tracks. But I will link to stuff like this medium here, which goes on to show that before I ever was part of their attention, they were sexist and ableist and homophobic, making fun of speedrunners because they were trans, because they were homosexual, because of the way they looked. I mean, yeah, this place basically went from a speedrun saga website to just an overall harassment website. They have openly mocked and attacked speedrunners for as long as they can for some of the most petty and horrible and stupid and disgusting reasons. Before I do this, I want to make sure it's very clear that I don't expect this to negate anything I've said or done wrong. But I want you to consider the source when it comes to some of this stuff, and I tell you that some of this stuff isn't true. These are known liars, known manipulators, known gaslighters. They've been doing it for years, and they've been doing it to me. So when you take a look at what actual internet bullies these people are, I hope that you will learn to believe my word over mine, because I will absolutely own my actual mistakes, and we will talk about those in this video and further videos coming along. But for now, let me show you what bullies these people actually are. And what you can find there right now isn't even that bad compared to some of the other stuff they posted. They're cleaning house. I highly recommend you go look at an archive of that subreddit to see some of the more toxic stuff, because the stuff that's there now is stuff they decided it's okay to leave up. They also attack literally anybody that I work with. Here's Andy Senor, who wanted to have me on his podcast tonight. Here they are tearing him a brand new hole for daring having worked with me. When I get a sponsor for the channel, they letter bomb those sponsors until that sponsor is worried about whether or not they should work with me. Now, the good news is my sponsors pretty much always take my side, but that doesn't mean they don't actively try to destroy anybody that I work with, a sponsor that I work with. I mean, this is disgusting and abhorrent behavior. They keep creating accounts like this. When I block them, they just make more and more and more. And when they can't interact with me, they interact with people who work with me and fans and attack them and mock them and call them every name in the book just for the sake of trying to discredit me. And some of these people will spend an hour or two every day doing this stuff. And not just for like a week, not for a month, but this subreddit has been actively attacking me and going through everything I've ever said and ever done on the internet For the last 3 years, they spend hundreds of man hours every day amongst them looking for any little mistake I've ever made, anything that I could say or do. And I don't think you can trust somebody who's that possessed, that's obsessed with something like that. I mean, I don't like Jake Paul, but I'm not tweeting at Jake Paul 100 times a day. I'm not investigating Jake Paul looking for every little twist and turn. Someone who does something like that is most likely not to be trusted. And this subreddit has been doing that for 3 years, spending hundreds of man hours for 3 years. I mean, it speaks of real mental imbalance, and that's coming from somebody who should know. And when you take a look at this mega thread, I want you to really look at it because it's so hypocritical and so full of BS that only a moron would fall for a lot of the stuff that's in this. And I'm not talking about the actual mistakes I've made because anyone's going to see that stuff. But take this, for example, right here where it says, contrary to what he claims, Boogie is not being accused of being a pedophile. But from there, all you have to do is scroll down the page to where they link to a clip and give it a false context saying Boogie doesn't want to have kids for fear of molesting them. That's what a pedophile does. A pedophile molests kids. You're accusing me of being a pedophile after saying that's not what you're doing, idiots. Back to the top of the page where it says, contrary to what he claims, Boogie is not being accused of being a wife beater. Scroll down the page and here's this section where supposedly I made my wife sign an NDA. And they give it again false context saying that NDAs are signed when there are things to hide, which explains why Dez has been awfully quiet on the relationship or any psychological, not physical, abusive behavior towards her. And yes, I get that you're saying not a wife beater, but you're still accusing me of being emotionally abusive or any other type of abuse. You're being hypocritical. You can't trust those types of hypocrites. And by the way, my ex-wife never signed an NDA, and here she is on her own Twitter account claiming that she never signed an NDA. She can say whatever she wants. Why is this not in the mega thread? Why did they not take that section down off the mega thread once they were proven to be wrong? Because they know you'll never find this stuff. They know that you will believe the lie, and they'll give it even more false context. I've heard them saying stuff like, I paid my ex-wife or bullied or threatened my ex-wife to tweet this out, and that they were going to leave it up because they know the truth. When it's not the truth. They are just lying to you. They're just fucking liars. But that's not even the point of this video. This video is because I did something very, very stupid. They've been calling me a liar and a manipulator for a really, really long time. And after talking to my friend at the FBI, after talking to a friend in PR, they made a suggestion, and that was to bait them and see what would happen. So I did. I had a private conversation with somebody I knew who posted on that message board, and I filled it full of tons of misinformation to see what they would grab a hold of. Now, I want to show you these receipts, but someone probably from that subreddit hacked into my Twitter today. I don't have access to it. As soon as I do, I'll link this video. I'll link all of this stuff and show you guys. But take my word for it, I told them all kinds of outlandish stuff. I told them that I was writing a book, which is not an entire lie, but I told them that I was swatted twice in December. I told them that that I dated a girl that was 43 years old for the last couple of years because I wanted to see what they would do with this information, and I just wanted to keep them busy. I wanted to bait them based on what my PR person said. They said, give them something to talk about. So I did. What they latched onto, though, I was totally surprised with what they latched on because they incriminated themselves so beautifully that I can't, if you have respect for these people after me showing